I absolutely love the massive decluttering videos. You know the one, you've seen it here on YouTube, I'm sure, where someone has a really cluttered space, like a wardrobe or a garage or something that's totally out of control, and they go through and they get rid of like more than half of their stuff. I love seeing those bags go to Goodwill and things like that. But the thing is, we've all tackled a space like that at some point, or our version of that space. I know I certainly have. And if you have a space like that in your home right now, do know that it's a wonderful exercise to go through and get some help from your family or a friend or a neighbor to just go through and tackle that area. That will really help you find more peace and calm in your world. But what happens after we've done that massive declutter or you've KonMari'd your whole house? What happens then? A lot of people will do a seasonal clean out anyway, like, when the Christmas decor comes out or when it's time to do the spring or summer clean and bring the barbecue out. So for many people, we have a natural cycle anyway, but I'd like to introduce a way of decluttering that I have used for years and years and years, which I know a lot of other minimalists do as well. What I'm talking about is the quarterly clean out. Now, how can you practically do this? Well, in my case, my husband and I just moved into a new house. I did a big declutter before we put everything in storage. We did a further declutter when we unpacked everything. And I've also got a couple of videos, which I will link up here as well as down below, of specific areas like the pantry and kitchen that I've spent some extra time organizing and reorganizing. But the reality is that even as a minimalist, I still purchase things, I get gifted things, I buy things and things like, oh, I really use this over here, and then I don't end up doing that. So what I normally do, at least quarterly, sometimes more often, is I'll go through room by room with a rubbish bag and a basket, and I will look at the things that I have and I will create a pile for donations. Obviously get rid of any trash and look through and make sure that the things that we're keeping are things that we want to keep. So I would highly recommend that you start a timer at this point. I forgot to, but this whole thing you're about to see took me less than an hour in total. So we're going to start under the stairs in my house, which is my Harry Potter cupboard for all sorts of random things, and we're going to get my donation box. So I always have a donation box ready for charity. That, where we can just put things that we're getting rid of. I also have a bunch of storage around the corner here for things like Christmas decor and stuff like that. And in here we've got shoes that we don't use every single day. So I did go through and declutter this. We've only lived here for about 3 months, but these shoes here were gifted to me by a family member last summer. And even though they're really good with good arch support, they're just one size too big for me. So they don't really work as well as I would like. That chessboard there is one of Paul's projects. He's going to put some legs on that and make that a little side table. But yeah, just your classic storage. We do need a little bit more shelving in here. And this strip light is actually from Aldi Australia. It's a rechargeable one, and I think I paid about 10 bucks for it. Over here on the door, we've got our hats and gloves, and I've gone through and decluttered this. It's winter in Australia at the moment, and down here in Melbourne, it can get pretty cold, so we're using this most days. Right next to the stairs, we have my office. So we're going to do a little bit of a declutter in here as well. And one thing that has not been working is this little organizer on my desk. I got this for free and I thought it would be helpful, but it's not. Things keep falling through and getting stuck, and I don't really like it. So I'm going to donate that so someone else can get some good use out of it. And while we're in here, we're also going to have a look in my closet here. So this is the guest room closet, and obviously it's not used all of the time, but you can see I've got a lot of guest bedding and stuff. I've got some books, some work type things, and in this grey organizer, I have another idea for an organization system, but I needed something quick in here. So this is most of my filming gear and my office supplies. But I do want to do something about this pile because in Paul's office we actually have a sofa bed. So all of these items here are for that sofa bed. And I feel like there might be a better way of organizing it. But anyway, I'm just doing a quick pass here. Again, we're only about 10 minutes into the declutter at this point. But I had this idea that because we don't have guests all the time, I can actually keep these items on the guest bed itself. So, genius idea, I thought, and to be perfectly honest, the person who sleeps the most on this bed is the cat. So yeah, just popping these couple of things back on the bed. So that is just a mattress topper that makes our sofa bed super duper comfortable. We've had it test slept on by one guest and she said it was very nice. So yeah, just making this bed up because this is my office, so I do kind of see this every single day. And I do really love this bedspread, by the way. It's from IKEA. So we got rid of some stuff, and here is my decluttering box gradually growing. And I'm loving that I now have space in here. I don't know exactly what I would put in there, but hey, having some room definitely doesn't hurt, and it means that I can look at some more organization as well. Continuing on the downstairs, this is our downstairs bathroom where the cat has probably the biggest bathroom in the whole house. We've got the guest shower, and over on the other wall, I have this laundry. It's a European style laundry, so these doors are obviously closed most of the time, but this is where we keep cleaning supplies and all sorts of things like that. Up here in this cupboard, I've actually done a bit of a decluttering pass on this already. We've got like cat stuff, ironing things, cleaning rags, extra toilet paper, and there at the bottom is all of the cat related items, which is not her food, which you know if you saw my other video, she's got a shelf up in the kitchen. But I thought I'd just do a quick look through here, realizing we have two kitty litter scoops, which is probably a bit unnecessary. We have two claw trimmers for the cat, and we have an extra leg for her cat tower, which I'm just going to store up here for now. But yeah, the pile is growing with extra things, so that's always good to see. So let's head upstairs now. So walking up the stairs to my kitchen, by the way, if you haven't seen my kitchen organization, I will link that video both above and below because you'll get a feel for what I've got where and that kind of stuff. But up here we have this old beautiful chest, and in it we have random bits and bobs. I've just started recently crocheting, so I've made some gifts for some friends who might have already been gifted said item by the time this video goes live. But this is my yoga mat. I don't know though why we have a random plastic bag, and this cable cover should really go with our electrical cables. So I'm going to put this in the pile and check with my husband where or if he even wants to keep that. So my decluttering pile is growing. I think I've probably at this point spent about 20 or 30 minutes all up, so not long at all. And we're going to head into our games cabinet. So we love board games and stuff like that, but I do know this, there are a couple of games that we were gifted slash got in a secret Santa swap at Christmas time, and we've played most of them, but to be honest, some of them just weren't that good. So the ones that we've played and wouldn't play again, we are going to get rid of. Cards Against Humanity I've had for a while, but we have not played or reached for that for a good long while. So I'm going to add these to the pile, and look how much I pared back. It's awesome. So all the games that are remaining are ones that we regularly play. This game we got in a second-hand shop. It's Tetris Jenga, and Paul liked it, so we're going to keep it for a little while, but getting rid of quite a few things. Heading on into the pantry, by the way, this is my new coffee maker that I love, not sponsored at all, but you would have seen the video where I decluttered this whole space. But in here, we actually have a couple of things that are part of our refrigerator, and we've had this refrigerator for years and never used these items, so I'm gonna let them go because we're not likely to ever need them. But the rest of the pantry, as you can see, is working out well. It's been a few weeks at this point since I did that big declutter, and I really like how it's working. Paul seems to be finding everything and not asking questions, so it seems to be working. Moving along to the master bedroom, and this is the current setup in here. We have this little nook here where Paul is going to build a little shelf for books and things like that. But for now, we actually had this IKEA shelf in our previous apartment, so we're just using that for now until we have time to set that up. And this is the reality. I have my eyes on a bed base and bedside tables that I want to buy. But when we moved in, as you might know, there's a lot of expenses moving into a new house. So this is just a very cheap bed frame that we've got as a temporary solution on secondhand. And the bedside tables are crates from IKEA. But what we're doing in here is having a look at my wardrobe. Now, I have gone through and decluttered my side of the wardrobe already. Up there, I've got exercise things and stuff like that. But I will link a couple of wardrobe and declutter videos for you below if you are interested to check it out. But I have pared back my clothes a fair bit, and most of the things in here are things that I use. On the other side, just to give you a quick little sneak peek, I do have most of my other hanging clothes. So in here we've just got things like tops and long sleeves and dresses, some more exercise equipment there up on the top shelf. And at the very bottom, I do have a small dresser that Paul and I are currently sharing. I am again planning to get some more storage furniture for the bedroom, but we haven't really gotten around to it. So this works for now, but definitely something that I'm looking to change up because that dresser is very, very old. But we're going to have a quick look now at my jewelry, and I've done a separate video on this jewelry organizer, which I will link above and below for you. But this is a really good way because I don't have heaps of jewelry and accessories, as you can see, but I do know that there will be a couple of items in here that I can get rid of. So on the front, it's got the zippy pockets, but yeah, these bangles, I think I bought them for a fancy dress party or something like that, so I don't really need those anymore. And then I'm just quickly going through and having a look at things like earrings and anything else that I may or may not want to keep. And I really encourage you to go through your jewelry. I know some people have, you know, these little cuties, but a lot of people will keep way more stuff than they actually use, and then you don't even see the items that you have. So yeah, getting rid of a couple of little things here that hopefully someone else can get a lot more enjoyment out of. I also did do a quick pass through my like underwear, sports drawer, etc., and I found a couple of things that I can get rid of that I don't really need. Some of these will unfortunately be trash because they're not great quality. But here we go. Here is my pile in the kitchen. I have gone through and I'm amazed. Like I said, I think at this point this has taken me under an hour for sure. And these are just all the things that I am getting rid of. We did have, as you would have seen in my previous kitchen organization video, we had a lot of coffee mugs. So I actually ended up paring back 3 very large cups that we don't really reach for. And up there we've also got some glass jars that I found in my last declutter, and I've realized I'm never going to use these. So I'd rather pass them on so they can get a good home with somebody else. And then over here, we've got some things that are trash and recycling because they're simply not good enough quality to donate to anyone. But I am blown away as someone who recently moved into this place and thought that I'd gone through my stuff in great detail. I do think that it's important. So this is the stuff that's going out of my house in this quarterly declutter. But wait, there's more. I did go into our linen closet and I found all of these vacuum seal bags. Now, because we had all of our stuff in storage for almost a year, I've still got 5 or 6 bags up there and a large IKEA bag, but I will never need quite this many plastic bags. This is also little fabric scraps from when my mother-in-law hemmed all of our curtains and privacy things, so they are going to go as well. And that's really how I do the quarterly clean out in my home. It works really well. I've been doing this for years, but I only really formalized it with a reminder in my phone not too long ago. And look, if you put a reminder in your phone and you don't have time on that particular day to do it, that's totally fine. Do it on the nearest day or rope some friends or family members in to do it with you, because honestly, it does not have to be something that only you have to stay on top of. Obviously, make sure that you're only decluttering your own things or things that you are in charge of. But you'd be surprised when you start decluttering, other people around you, whether it's family members or housemates, might start looking at you and getting curious to help out as well. So it can actually have a really positive side effect. The final really positive side effect of doing this quarterly declutter is that it's actually very generous. It's generous to yourself to create a calm and peaceful home environment with an amount of inventory that you and your family want, but it's generous to the community as well. Because whether you sell something or donate something to a charity shop, or you might even put it in a local Facebook pay it forward group or something like that. It is a really beautiful, generous gesture to pass things on to somebody else if it's no longer useful for you. And I know some people have that fear that they're going to declutter something that they're going to use again. Well, you know what? You can probably purchase it again if you should ever need that item in the future. And quite often you can purchase things secondhand and you haven't really lost anything at all. All the best. Let me know in the comments below how you do your decluttering. Do you wait for the bigger pile to pile up? Do you have a seasonal theme? Are you happy to try the quarterly cleanup if you're not already doing it? Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video.